Welcome back to the Inexorables. We are at our 9th session. We sadly are now, 3 weeks ago was our last session, because we took a 2-week break. That was sad, but we're back now. In our last session, why are you rolling a ridiculous amount of d20s?
You got a nat 20 in one of them, though.
There were two nat 20s.
You've used up all your luck for the night.
Yep, it's all gone.
There were actually
all ones now.
It was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Let's
13.
Counts.
Thank you for counting.
Alright, I'm gonna mute him if he continues. So, in our last session, we finished our time in our last session we were already back in Revedan. We spent some time chatting amongst ourselves. We got to see everyone go back to their homes or groups of people. Most particularly, we got to see Linen and Sakir, not Rikus, get to know each other a little bit better as they are now living together in an apartment in Revedan.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
And they
Will
were
the
roommates.
the GM ever call the brothers correctly?
Yeah, I just
You just did.
Dimwit.
The first time.
Anyways, so after all things were said and done, you guys gathered the next morning for a nice little brunch at Leopold Lenotdon's home, in which some fish and some very expensive stuff was prepared, even though he tried to make it a more modest meal. Putting together, you guys all spoke about yourselves and your background a little bit before, almost everyone spoke about their backgrounds a little bit before taking off to meet with the Professor Lycus Aranin back in the Academy of Dusk to choose your next mission. So, as we begin, all 5 of you are entering into the Academy of Dusk together and heading up the Tower of Transmutation. Is there anything you guys would like to do on your way up or say to each other before we start the scene?
Oh, by the way, I managed to translate that note. I lost the voice already. I managed to translate that note from the Harriet? Not Harrius. Was it Harrius?
Harrius.
Yes.
Well,
it's been a bit.
Well,
no, it wasn't.
What did it
was
say?
the other guy, but that doesn't matter. Continue.
Nothing too. I'll explain it more once we're in there, but it doesn't really seem anything too important. Something about supplies, plans, plans for Sargoths, rituals, plans, the standard fiend stuff, demonic jargon, it seems.
Well,
Anybody know what
yes,
it is?
standard. I poured over the note too. Yes.
Oh.
He had a specific purpose here. We should definitely bring that up during our meeting, or sometime soon at least.
Oh, also, does anybody know what a Quentar is?
For the 3 who have not already studied the note, you can attempt to make a history check on this if you would like.
History. Uh-oh.
Some sort of old infernal word. The best I can translate it to is some sort of.
do I get my
synonym?
my bonus for it being 15,
Sure, I will let you guys know.
etc.?
Ooh,
It has to
23.
be... Even a 23 does not actually get you this. This is an
Dang.
incredibly high DC.
It's the best I can figure is it's some sort of synonym for master, but it seems vague.
What about a 25?
A 25. Alright, so you actually do get a little bit more with a 25.
Woo!
Just a little bit. Let me pull up my notes here real quick.
It means boner in Latin.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no. Not another
What?
boner.
Oh
What
no,
DC
not another
What's
boner.
the DC save we actually talked
So
I love Bonerland.
Quentar
Yeah,
is
copy on that.
a very, very, very old celestial word. In saying that, it's not tied to anything celestial itself. It's a word used by celestial creatures to designate something. Generally something of pretty immense power that has power over other creatures. When this note is noting itself as Quentar, it's more not saying I am, it's not saying I'm your master as in I'm your leader. It's saying I am your master as in you are my slave. Like there's there's an active sense of control over the creature that it is speaking to. When one would refer to itself as a Quintar, it would be a master to its slave, not a general to its captain.
Oh.
Yes, massa.
So there's a lot more context there now. As you guys are kind of making your way up the stairs, do you share this information that you're able to recollect with the rest of the party?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So as this kind of new information or perspective upon this word of the note is shared with the rest of the party, you guys finish making your way up the Tower of Transmutation, and as you enter in, Professor Lycus Eranin is in the room alone at this time and seems to beckon you guys in as he notices you. Yes, welcome, welcome. He's, again, just as he was the previous day, poring over this map, it seems. Just magical image floating off this table as he seems to move it around. He kind of begins to let the image fade as you guys walk in. Oh, is it that time already? I apologize, I was not entirely prepared. How swiftly would you be able to be on the move again?
Well, now's the time as any.
Looks at Rakus. Are we waiting for your horse again?
I'd much prefer to wait for my horse. I believe it would be coming in tomorrow, though.
If it's the ship from Sagoth, if it's the same ship, it should be coming in here in a few hours.
Well, thank goodness.
So I could be ready to leave right now, but, well, Yvonne might get a little angry if I keep teleporting out every time I leave.
I doubt you would be teleporting this time. Regardless, I have 3 different possible missions to send you on. Quite various. The first of which, I have picked up the presence of some large creature who seems to have taken up residence just south of Durnhill in the Iron Hills, right along the border of our empire and that of the Katanit Empire. In that such, this creature is very large. I do not necessarily know if it is aggressive or neutral by any means. Whatever it is, I don't want the roving bands of barbarians to be able to convince it to join their ranks. So, I don't even know if it's a sapient creature or sentient. Regardless, someone needs to go up there and check into it to try to find this creature. If it is at all possible, and it is a creature of intelligence, perhaps convincing it to return with you back down to Revedan would be the most preferred situation, as we could certainly use more allies in this conflict. However, if it is, of course, a mindless beast, just killing wildlife and the folk of either Vaeth or Durnhill, eradication would, of course, be necessary.
But it has not caused any damage.
It
That
has
we know.
seemingly actively avoided interaction with the prime material plane thus far, hence why it would lead me to believe that it is at least somewhat intelligent.
Aside from
I can sense it very faintly, but since it hasn't interacted with anything, I cannot tell you what it is.
Okay.
Uh,
aside from it being very large, are there any other tells, characteristics?
Not in particular. I mean, when I speak of these umbral essences and my invention, unless they're heavily interacting, as in killing or attacking and or directly interacting with creatures of this plane, they do not shine very brightly. But the larger the creature is, the more of the essence I can sense. So I don't have any details, sadly. I'll obviously let you know via the Sending Stone to Rikus if any interaction does occur. Second option, opposite direction, heading towards the Zemnian coast in the forest south of Sekta. It seems we've had both reports and the essence be sensed that a large portion of the forest has begun to turn black and almost haunted, as some would say. Its umbral essence has spiked very heavily, but it's covering such a large area that it's difficult to tell exactly what it is. It would likely be some kind of curse or a creature that could apply a curse that could affect a very large radius, unless the being itself is a few dozen miles long and wide, which is extensively unlikely. More than likely it is some form of curse or venom that has been released out into the trees that could spread amongst them, and or a creature that spread a curse among them.
They're turning the trees black. Shoot them.
God damn it. I was gonna make an Alaskan bullworm joke, but
Rikus's police training.
Immediately kicked in.
My pistol warning went off.
That's what's up.
Damn, that's crazy.
really bad.
Sir, can I see some ID? Whoa, whoa, whoa there, buddy.
Jesus Christ.
And we're putting this public on the internet.
Yes.
Back to Lycus. And lastly, quite possibly the most pressing of the three missions, or at least the one where we could certainly use someone to go. If, by the way, if you do not, if you only accept one of these missions or only go for a certain thing, I will find groups to do these others. They are all time sensitive. Lastly is not very far at all. It's beside Suno in the Kingswood, just northeast of the city. All of the large game have seemingly disappeared. Meat and bones were found burned by acid. There has not yet been an attack on a hunter or huntress, or lord or lady that has gone into the Kingswood, but from a witness account of a dwarf hunter named Kelk Stonehand, there seem to be bipedal creatures similar to that of an incredibly large chicken, but without any arms or wings. There were 3 of them spotted by the hunter. There are likely to be more, though.
Cockatrice!
A full interrogation and investigation would have to be done, likely with Kelk out in the Kingswood. The reason why this particular mission could be very beneficial for us is it could possibly get us under the recognition of the king himself, which could possibly bring Lord Valkenton closer to our fold quicker. But these other missions are also very pressing. If this creature up in the Iron Hills were to somehow or some way come under the control or allyship of the other barbarians in the region, that would be incredibly dangerous for any of those shipping lanes, as I cannot quite tell how large this creature is. And the woods of Sekta are one of the primary locations for either lumber or certain hunting grounds. It's a large supply point for the rest of the nation. All 3 points are very important. Perhaps it would be possible, if you were willing to rush yourselves, to run out to Suno, deal with these chicken creatures swiftly before making your way up into the Iron Hills. It is a possibility, but it is, of course, your decision. You may either decide here, or take some time and come back later in the afternoon once you are ready to depart.
I like chicken. Let's go.
I think that as it is the most pressing and would benefit us as an organization the most, I agree. We gotta go for these chicken-like creatures, for sure. I think, honestly, the Iron Hills does not sound like a job for the Inexorables. It seems like a creature that needs taming, a creature, it very possibly is something that we will not need to fight. I think that our crew is much more apt for discovery and destruction, rather than approaching and taming.
I mean, if we're in the area, though...
You would be approximately a day's journey south of the Iron Hills, maybe slightly more, depending on if you're on horseback or not. It would keep you out for a few extra days, depending upon the situation. However, Sakir, I will denote to you that when I brought you all on with the Inexorables, I told you the missions would be varied, and that all types would be expected. If I'm only sending you to kill things, then you can only do one thing, in which case you are useless to me on many different occasions.
You hear that? He called you useless, bud.
So, I apologize. What I mean is that we're more apt for something of that sort. If you have other groups that are capable of doing these things and we are needing to split up, using our strengths, I think, would be wise.
No. Sakir, he called you useless.
Hey,
Rikus,
yes, thank you.
You do not need to poke fun at your brother. I am not calling him useless. I am merely saying that I want a group to be able to do all facets of any possible mission. Hence, if I send a few negotiators up to this and it ends up being a troll and kills them both, that would not be good. If I send you, who have in your group the possibility to possibly, hopefully, both convince a creature that is intelligent to move from its current position, but also kill it if necessary, that would be preferred.
Oh, I guess he would be useful if we had to kill it. So,
See, that's what I'm saying. Rikus, very good at killing things. As far as charming people and making friends, not as much.
Well, that's why there's the...
a priest in our party.
Yes,
hey.
the priest. I was going to call him something else, but priest is the correct word. I mean no insult by that. I was merely going to... I did not necessarily know what denomination... I'm
He
not
doesn't
very
know
good
either.
with religion. Would you consider yourself a priest, Wayne?
No.
Personally, I thought it was more of a pastor.
I thought it was preacher.
That's what I was going to call
You
him, a
can-
pastor.
I'd go
Call
with
me
cultist.
more of a shepherd,
A shepherd.
Yeah.
Of justice, of course.
of course. A shepherd of justice.
Well, do you think you can go tame justice south of the Iron Hills?
Yeah.
I mean,
I believe
Wait.
we can.
looking at all three of these missions, each and every single one of them have aspects that play to all of our strength. Correct? All have an investigatory aspect, potential for combat, and occasion, and generally in remote regions that.
Linen,
Oh.
don't hurt
So-
yourself.
Oh.
In my opinion, I believe the last job, the one with the Kingswood, would be the most pressing. And admittedly, there's some bias on my end, as hunting in forests is my specialty. But with the first one, there is admittedly some risk of barbarians finding the creature, but it is lesser, in my opinion, than the risk of a hunter finding these acidic beasts. As far as the curse in the... I forget what the area of the curse was.
Forest of Sector 70 and Coast.
And the curse on the forest near the coast. We don't have enough information to say how dangerous that is. It could be even more dangerous than the beast in the Kingswood, or it could be even less dangerous than the troll down south. We simply don't have enough information.
Well, who knows? We might actually be going and taming something that can fly. And we'll just knock out all three.
Who knows?
If
But
certainly
since
you
it's
are able to
fastest-
go tame something that can fly, that would be very impressive. However, from the movement patterns of the creature in the Iron Hills, it does not seem to be able to fly.
Yeah. Either way, considering we can get the Kingswood done the fastest, as it is closest, in my opinion, that is the one we should start with.
Alright.
We can start with that one. Hopefully we can come to you for more information afterward to make a final decision. It seems like our groups wanted to tame the beast. If so, let's go that way, but it wasn't my vote.
I'm not saying that we should do one or the other. I'm saying we should two out of three.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. We could go to Suno and then head over to the Zemnian Empire.
Yeah.
The Zemnian coast, couldn't we?
If you were
I
to
was-
hit Suno and then go to the Zemnian coast, you would be going away from Revedan to return back past Revedan, and then continue traveling for 4 or 5 days to get down to the forests of Secta. The Iron Hills are much closer to Suno.
I was recommending Suno than the Iron Hills.
Sounds
Yeah.
reasonable.
Suno than the Iron Hills.
If you are able to make contact once you have finished in the forests of Suno, you can begin then heading up north if things are as they seem to be as of now. If there is no interaction, then it may be best to continue that course. If I am able to find someone I believe better suited for the occasion, I will send them up promptly, if for no other reason than to save Sakir having to talk with a giant creature of some form. I'm going... Do you have any recommendations of any adventuring friends of any form? I'm looking to begin putting together another team for here in the Caladrian Empire.
Rikus just pulls out a notebook from his coat pocket, flips through the pages some, stops, rips a couple of pages out, and then just hands it to him.
He kind of takes a couple of them and says...
They're all various service members from his time in the forces, all
Finding-
with special skill sets.
Finding them may be the largest difficulty in that. He kind of sets
Well,
them off
I'll
to the
tell you
side.
right now, you'll find that one at the bar in town.
I'm sure I could find all of them at a bar. It just depends which bar and what town. Regardless, I appreciate your... I don't even know what to call it. Your tabs you keep on everyone.
Rikus shrugs.
Regardless, whenever you are able to leave this afternoon, merely ping my sending stone to let me know that you have left the city. Without the return of our archmage or angelic helper, I am very limited in the people I can send out for these type of missions as of now. Hence why I'm trying to get another group together.
Well, I'll tell you what, you get Edmund back to full health. You can go investigate the forest very easily.
That is fair. We will be attempting to teleport him back in tomorrow, if memory serves. He is still very weak, along with Thomas.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
I certainly believe so as well, especially if we are able to get them here with our maesters of the medicinal arts, such as Linen's compatriots.
Yes. Oh, speaking of the others, they might want to know what we found from that note. We finished translating it.
Oh, you did?
So yes, I figured we might as well drop the research off now, if we're heading out so soon.
Yes, if you
Oh,
could.
Daddy DM.
Yes, sir.
I've remembered that I actually speak Celestial, so would I just inherently know anything else about that?
No, you would not.
Because
This
that you
is
said it was Celestial, or
this
is it because
is-
it's ancient Celestial?
this is 15,000+ year old celestial.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
Celestial too. I didn't get
Lennon
it.
also knows Celestial.
A
Okay.
lot
You're
of
not
you
special.
guys speak these languages. Just because that
The
doesn't
note also
mean
has like 4 dozen different languages.
the note does
And a
have
cipher.
8 separate languages and a cipher settled into it. So the fact that they were able to decipher it so quickly acknowledges how high of rolls they actually got.
Nice.
They're not
Oh,
intelligent. Just like
It's all just memes from the 2000s. That's the entire note.
Would it be the 2000s BC?
My gosh.
This top text, bottom text, I don't quite understand it, but I think it means
No.
this.
No. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Okay, regardless. Is there any other questions or acknowledgements you guys would like to discuss with Lycus before moving out?
We did bring up the whole note at this point.
Yes, you guys brought out the
I
note
believe
and
that was
handed it
just
over.
brought up.
That was just
Yeah,
discussed.
I was doing something else just then, so we we basically told him
Yeah.
everything about it, right?
Well,
Okay.
We're dropping off the notes, and everyone he knows about plans and Quintars. And
yeah. And I drop off. I
top
drop off
for-
Furious.
before we leave too. You might point me the way to the private selection that you guys got here.
Of books, yes.
Potions.
Potions. Yes. That will be a little bit over. It'll be towards conjuration. It's 2 towers over. It's closer to the 7th or 8th layer of the tower.
I can bring him
Thanks.
He begins reading through the translated note. This is very interesting. The creature that you guys met in the fog, you told me a little bit about it. Can you remind me of its qualities, its abilities?
Well, it was able to take control of Sakia's mind. Okay, got the right brother. Able to take control of Sakia's mind. Was able to pretty effortlessly dispatch some of the kobold god of the city, and
It just disappeared out of. It just. When it left, it just disappeared.
well, that might be partially because of the fog in the area.
True.
Okay.
Was it
Yes.
flying?
I believe it was flying, wasn't it?
At least for a bit. We heard wings, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
When
Yeah.
it
We
entered or
heard
when
many
it left?
wings.
The theory is that it is well, it's ancient. Anyway, you slice
Yes,
it,
obviously.
devil. But
It had
That's
glowing
theory.
eyes as well.
I was very interested in that dagger, too.
And this was the
Mhm.
bloodletting dagger, correct? The ceremonial one?
yes,
Yes.
it also
Yes.
it disguised itself as an Azamar, or an Azamar-like creature.
He had very similar features to that of Pax.
Yes.
Alright. Could you...
And he went by the name Varys in his. No, he went by the name Shazan in his
Yeah.
in his
humanoid
form,
form.
but he was his actual name was Varys, yes?
We do
No.
not know his actual name. That is
Right.
another
Well,
pseudonym.
the name in the note is at least Varys.
Yes.
That was assumedly the Nestavun Varys. Right?
Well, you found
No.
the note in Shazan's apartment,
Sorry.
so I would assume
My
it
bad.
would be titled towards the Azamar that you found.
Yes.
Yeah.
My bad.
And that Nazthron's the other guy.
My bad.
The
I
bard.
will do some research. Were you able, by any chance, to look at its teeth?
Did I get a look at his teeth, Zach?
You'd have to roll me a wisdom check.
I was
great. I'm great at
closest to the
those.
stairs.
I'll roll that as well, since I was outside.
Yeah, whoever has high wisdom, please.
Okay. I was closest to the stairs when he appeared. So, if I recall.
All right,
'Cause
wisdom.
he was up on the deck. So
Yes.
Wisdom ability check, normal. I got a 3, and someone else got a 5. Looking great.
It was kind of crazy. I don't know.
do I
The
get
teeth are like a really
my?
No, you
odd
do
thing
not,
to focus
Thomas.
on. And
Okay, I always have to ask.
also, he might not even had his mouth open.
Wait, just flat wisdom?
Flat wisdom. This is a memory check.
He might have never even opened his mouth. He might have just telepathically talked to us the entire time.
Or just
He
open
didn't.
his mouth to the point where we couldn't really see his teeth.
He was also pretty far away, tens of feet away, and my mind was not my own. So I have plenty of excuses. I don't know about you guys.
Damn,
On
we could have
board.
done something like insight or something.
Is this the left one?
Huh?
On
Uh,
Ford.
If you just
yes, it's the one on the left. If you hover over it, it'll say mod and save.
Oh, okay.
Thomas, are you going to make a
It's
check?
roll.
Yeah,
Ah.
hold on.
That's so bad.
who pays attention to
Oh my god.
That
gosh.
one. What
I
the
got
heck?
priceless numbers
I got a
all!
5, a 6, a 3.
Leopold save us?
That one. All
Leopold,
to you, Leopold.
last chance. You guys do have to roll
Leopold was
fairly
looking at
high
it
for
'cause
this.
he was looking at them kissing lips.
You might not even get it to us on like a higher than a 15, or 15.
Four!
Oh my!
Oh my god.
Numbers all!
None of us rolled above a 10.
Kind of.
Hey,
Like,
I had the second best roll.
That's so sad.
Third, but
Actually, no,
Uh,
that's July 3rd. I did see Linens.
okay. So
And that's with 0 wisdom.
as you all go into your mind and try and remember this, when you look at the face of this creature, you particularly only note the at first bright, like piercing blue eyes of this creature that did seemingly at one point almost become red before going back to blue. That is one thing that you guys do remember. But in terms of its teeth, y'all got nothing. And as that's conveyed to Lycus, he says, "This is quite intriguing. I may have to do some research on this, because to me, this does not sound like a demon, but I obviously was not
theory.
there."
He was working in what seemed to be not a demon, a devil, hierarchy, working with other devils. That is the biggest reason to assume, but it's hard to tell.
Well, if the person who gave the note to this Varus was its master, owner, essentially, then what's to say Varus is not the Quentar of the Naztharoon? Just because it was in a hierarchy of the fiends doesn't mean it itself is a fiend, just something more powerful than the fiend it was controlling.
Could it quite possibly be a fallen celestial?
Possibly it would be an odd set of abilities, for one. Both transfiguration into either a flock of or a singular creature that can fly, along with appearingly the ability to vanish into mist or almost turn oneself into fog. The ability to charm someone in a very short period of time with seemingly no one else able to notice what happened. And a very frightening presence.
Zach. I think Jade and I have both made the same connection, and for reasons both you and I know, do you want me to make a roll for this, or do you want me to just come up with the idea in character?
You're a pretty advanced adventurer and hunter.
So I take that as a yes, I just know it.
You don't know, but you probably have a pretty strong guess.
In that case, as Lycus continues to list off the characteristics of the whatever the guy's name was, I've forgotten. You see the color begin
Varus.
to Varus. You see the color begin to slowly drain from Leo's face as he begins to come to the realization of exactly what he thinks this creature might be.
Also, not to mention the fact that it can transform not just into a creature, but also into something that it killed.
It's a vampire.
That would be my first guess.
Vampire. You see Leo open up a portal with his bag of holding and begins to pull. You see a bunch of vampire hunting equipment. Pulls out stakes, holy water, garlic, and he just begins frantically seeing what he has.
You have a whip in there.
Becomes more. No, I read some stories that whips might have effects on vampires, but I'm far from equipped to using a whip.
Interesting. I've dealt with a vampire. Well, no.
Whips are
It wasn't
very
technically.
good.
It certainly seems from the description of abilities and how this creature interacted you with a almost level of superiority in the conversation, or at least that's how you described it. That would be my first guess. Now, it is, of course, possible that some ancient fallen celestial with a similar layout of abilities, or fallen celestial fiend, some other creature that we don't know exists. It's possible.
I mean, yes, he was draining blood at night. We should have seen this before. This is honestly embarrassing.
How did we not see it?
Regardless,
That would also explain the mist and fog.
Exactly.
I would also like you to remind me, this being said that it possibly could see itself working with us in the future. Is that correct?
Yes, don't. That was
Yeah.
what he told me and was trying to convince me of. I wouldn't trust that.
Very much so a quid pro quo, if I were to assume. But he has taken an interest in things.
He has also participated in the
In his
taking of
tower.
over a dozen lives.
Yes, but he's
Sarkophanean
interested
citizens.
in the things that go on in this tower. And what this organization is now doing.
Yes,
To be
and
fair, he was in Parseri.
yes, I granted memory not perfect, but I believe some of what Varys had said was that he wished to see the goings on this plane and perhaps to dominate it, while others simply wanted to destroy it. Hence his alliance of convenience with us.
Pawns in a power play, that's what we'll become. So, I suggest you be on your guard, Lycus.
If he mentioned this plane, does that mean he's not from this plane?
So yes, he was presumably from the same place as everybody else.
Well,
Bookworm,
remember,
if you recall, they escaped from a prison that locked up many bad things, many of which were from all types of planes, including this one.
Along with to recognize the prime material plane 14,000 years ago when they were locked up into Karseri likely looked very, very different than the prime material plane of today. If our studies and information that we're getting from Dan and what few interviews we're able to gather from the Titans in the Yuan-Ti from Dan in their new little island south of Volusia, it would be assumed that our continent, as it's known, was likely not the primary habitat of mortality 14,000 years ago. So any creatures coming out of Karseri would have a very new and unique perspective, along with a very new world to explore here on Volusia.
Well, how exciting.
Quite a whole new land for them to dominate.
Hey, I mean, it's not the first time on this continent.
Not wrong.
But we survived the Giths, so I think we can get over this one. But we'll have to all play our parts, so I suggest that we all begin making our preparations.
I would concur. I would also, if this truly is a vampire lord, if Varys itself had that form of power, as I would assume a spawn, as he has a Quentar, I would assume whatever is his master is extensively more powerful than whatever you saw in Sargoth. And likely very, very, very intelligent. I'm not saying you'll have a
Cool.
target on your back on these missions, but I'm saying be on the lookout for things maybe a little too interested in your coming and goings when you go around on these missions. I'm not saying kill the bartender because he's asking too many questions, but be careful how much information
I
you
look
give.
at Sakir just like dead on as soon as he says it. Says that.
It is very
Don't kill the
possible
bartender.
that
What about
other spawn...
prosti-
What?
What about the prostitutes?
I would certainly, just as all the others who have ever served in the military here know, enter, do your dealings, pay, leave. Do not talk about business. And aren't you a shepherd of justice?
I told you, he doesn't know what he is. Do not listen to any word he says.
Well, in my experience, they've been very interested in my coming and very
Justice
indifferent about my
doesn't
going.
pay.
You can stop talking whenever you so please. And it surprised me that you haven't.
Like it
Does
says,
this imply that you see other people as sheep then?
I would be very intrigued to hear a full conversation between Intrati and yourself, since Intrati himself has met the god you follow. I would be very interested to see that conversation. If Stolius returns and if he is still alive,
I'll bring popcorn.
I will
Well,
consume some
doesn't your
as well.
god say something like "Justice doesn't pay, I pay injustice"? It's probably what he does for the whores.
If
You
you
expect
all
this man to
would...
give up a piece of gold?
Harry, from the door, Harry comes in and he says, Harry, if you could escort our guests down and to our personalized stables so that they may equip their own horses if they would wish, or link up a carriage if some would prefer to travel that way. Rikus, your horse should be in about an hour and a half at this point. At least that is the approximation between sending Stone back and forth with the captain of the ship. He merely picked up another load to bring back to Revedan before embarking again.
Rikus kind of glances at his pocket watch, puts it back, and nods.
Alright, I may have Ernest meet you at the northern gate before you leave. I believe he'll have something for you guys as you leave. If you are wanting any particular potions, you know where to go. I wish you luck on your adventures, and hopefully you're able to hit both. Yes, Leopold.
You speak of potions. What about holy water?
Holy water, we could conscript some. It would
I know a
take time.
place for that.
Doesn't
will.
Mike and Secure already have holy water?
Yes, but also, I have a place that you can spend your money at.
How much holy water do they have?
This man has
A lot.
just about everything.
Okay.
I'm running out. I would love to purchase some more.
Alright, well, I can have one of the other professors of transmutation here begin to cook some up if you would like, and have a large pot prepared for you after you return, however long these missions take you.
Perfect.
Outside of that, if you're wanting any this moment, you should probably go out and buy your own. Regardless, I need to get back to some meetings. Avatar Aparium will be stopping by here in a few minutes, and me and him have some very serious discussions to have. So if you could make your way back down the tower, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sounds good.
Uh,
Individual shopping, then meet back.
as everyone is heading out, I'm kind of scribbling down on my notepad for a moment. And as the last couple people are shuffling out, I finish up writing, rip the page, and hand it to Varys, and say, "If you can look into this." And then-
Varys? You mean
Sorry,
Lycus?
not Varys. Sorry,
Lycus.
Lycus.
He's here!
The entire time. That's how he knows.
I hand it to Lycus and say, "If you can look into this,"
Okay.
and then and then make
Okay.
an exit.
Can you tell me again, what exactly is this?
I'll shoot you a message.
Okay. Will do.
I'm also going to shoot you a message real quick.
Everyone's shooting me all of a sudden.
Bang, bang.
You're,
Wait, hold
you're
on.
This-
very.
but-
You're,
Spraying you.
Crazy back shots.
I'm pretty sure that's what got that CEO.
goddamn, dude.
Burn, burn, burn. Here we go.
It's
Your
very
sentence has been dropped from death. Sorry, execution to back shot.
Who
Being shot in the back.
added?
Sorry,
Back
those
shots.
bullets aren't pre-existing conditions.
Okay, who added the tag in our voice chat?
I think that might have been Jade.
It's been
It was
updated
Jade.
multiple times
Okay.
throughout the session.
Okay.
It has? Oh, I only updated it once.
I only saw Jade's mistake.
I will
It was
admit, I
just
typed the
racism.
initial one. I typed
And then
racism.
Emojis started popping up on it.
Racism, and people started adding.
Yeah, I added the emojis. Someone put racism, and I was like, what if I do it like the suicide one?
A
During
thinking
suicide.
French.
Same thing.
A thinking French gay racist. That's wild. That's a crazy combo.
He is French, yes.
Yeah, 'cause
I actually put a
the-
gay flag on there and it
the
separated
Anadeus
into a
brothers.
flag and a gay rainbow.
Oh, that's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
gay.
The Anadeus brothers just going at it.
Yeah, no, wild.
No,
as
don't
stuff.
phrase it like that. Thank you.
The Anadeus brothers going crazy.
Going great.
All
Going
right,
hard.
going
No.
mega hard. They're going crazy. Okay, so are we separating for shopping, or are we sticking together to go potions?
I thought we were going to the potion
Yeah.
tower first.
Let's
Like-
do potions first.
Okay. Everyone Potion Tower, then individual shopping. Right?
So as you guys enter in, last time potions were gathered for you. This time you guys enter into the it's in the Conjuration Tower. You would think potion mixing would be more transmutation stuff, but it's in the Conjuration Tower on the 4th level. And as you guys enter in, there's actually like just down the corridor like a full class of like 12-year-olds throwing stuff into pots. As you guys walk by, you see one of the pots just explode in the kid's face, and he's just got black char all over his face now, whereas others are mixing, and there's steam just floating from the room, and you have to cover your nose as you walk by because it smells so terrible. As you enter into the room, there's probably a 19, 20-year-old kid in there. Probably, he's human, more than likely. And like I said, 19, maybe 20. As he kind of looks over, he kind of seems surprised as you guys walk in, just full armor and weapons all at your side. Hello? What can I do for you?
Do I know this kid's name?
Yes, you do. His name is Kentith.
Kendit?
Kentith.
You should make it
yes.
a cuter name.
Hey, hi Kendit, we're back. We're looking for potions.
Where? I don't know any of them. But what potions are you looking for?
Oh, well, we're a group brought together by Professor Lycus Aronin. We're heading out on a mission for him, and I
Oh.
guess they were asking for potions, so I brought them here.
All right. I can only requisition so much for one group. What exactly? I could probably get a greater healing potion for at least one for all of you. And then outside of that, it would have to be requisitioned.
What are you? So what are you guys looking for, anyways? I kind of just go for the standard healing, and that's it. But
A healing
Well-
potion would be most helpful, but you don't happen to make holy water here, do you?
That would have to be requisitioned. And
Dang.
honestly, generally for holy water, since it's generally considered so easy to make, they let the kids make it into big vats. And it's generally only about half as effective against actual demonic or infernal beings.
Do you have poisons? Poisons tend to be simple. Anything lying around?
We could have some poisons. Is there anything particular that you're looking for?
Boys, we can. Don't worry about the various fun things. I know a guy. Let's just get the potions. No
So we
need
can only
to
have a
buy
greater
it.
health? That is what you have?
That is what I could give you this very moment. Yes, a greater healing potion, one for each of you.
That would work perfectly. I don't know about all of y'all, but all of y'all. That's Jade. That's not Sakir. Sorry.
That is acceptable.
All right. Let me. And he kind of goes into a little back room, and you guys hear the, and then just like 3 or 4 bottles crash on the ground in this room.
oh dear.
He comes out with a little tray that's 8 slot that has 5 slots filled, and as he kind of pulls it over, he says, "Be careful with those 2." He points to 2 of them that seemingly Leopold and Sakir are picking up, and says, "The caps may be a little hard to take off. You may want to loosen them a little bit. The middle-aged Goliath is the one who tightened those, so it may be a little difficult."
Definitely going to make sure to untighten that before combat. You're going to be a jerk about it. I know it.
Yeah, I am. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have you make
Okay.
a strength check for it. It's gonna be great. So
Is anyone
As-
else's inventory management kind of shitting on them right now?
I am not using Foundry for inventory.
No, I'm talking about in D&D Beyond.
Oh, no.
No, mine's working fine.
Mine's just stuck loading and it won't freaking open up.
Then fix it. Come on.
Try turning
Work
it off
it
and
on.
turning it back on again.
have you tried pressing Alt F4?
I already have a potion of healing, too, so that's great.
Yes, I believe you saved yours because you guys got one before the last mission.
I think I drank mine.
I think most of you
Mark.
guys did. The combat was pretty tough.
No,
So-
what happened is we thought we were gonna get into a fight with Varys, so we pre-prepped by drinking
Yeah,
potions.
a couple of you guys did do some pre-gaming for that. Alright, so as you guys make your way back down, I'm assuming you guys are now
Thank
done
you, Candace.
with Kentith.
Kentith.
And you know that most people just call him Ken. But you're pretty official more than not. So, is there anywhere particular you guys are wanting to go outside of where I know Thomas wants you guys to go?
Lennon would want to pick up various medical supplies, some of which definitely aren't being used for proper medicine. So poisons and such.
Okay, so a couple various
Big guys.
things. You probably aren't going to be able to find everything there at the school, but you could find a couple things that you're like, this. Oh, that looks cool. I can experiment with that. Okay, here we go. Grab a couple dozen little supplies from the potion brewer.
Well, Mr. Rex, Your Holiness, do you happen to know where we could find some holy water?
For the last time.
I
know,
understand
okay.
that we have some where we can go, but we do want I want quite a bit of this, and so if he's going to upcharge us for buying more than seems fit.
He has never upcharged me in my whole time of dealing business with him.
All right.
In
You're
fact,
being
he may
very vague
give us
about
a
who he
dis-
is.
He may give you a discount because you actually walked in during daytime.
Okay.
All right.
What, you don't?
You'll see. Anyways,
She's
follow
not
me.
buy things.
So,
You'll love this guy.
as Rikus begins leading you guys through the city, it's not an incredible distance. It's maybe a 15-minute, 20-minute walk before you guys get outside a little shack, which, Rikus, would you like to tell them where you have led them?
I have led all of them to Berries, Bobs, and Bits.
Which,
It looks like a little, it looks like a little wood building that's just totally in shambles, but is, if you could see through the windows, it's like a pawn shop on steroids.
yes, all of the trusses and supports around this wooden building that seem to have crumbled or rotted through have been replaced with metal bars that are somehow holding this place together. The windows, one of the windows is just completely shattered with some kind of thin film or wrap placed inside, as it's barely visible to see through it, but it is still possible. As the door kind of opens, possibly the first time Rikus has ever come to Barry's Bits and Bobs during the daytime when it is officially open. There are no other customers inside, but there is Barry, a gnome, who kind of says,
Berry!
"I thought you were nocturnal."
He is. Can't you tell? I heard.
Does
This
look
is
very
not my
tired.
skin. Barry, I'm like, it's not nice to make fun of my skin.
I think it's hilarious. Who are your friends?
Just because his skin is gray.
Well, you wouldn't believe this, but that one right there is my brother.
I believe it.
It's your skin.
It's your skin.
Well, the
However,
other
I will
ones-
say, Rikus, is that your younger brother? Why do you have more hair than him? That doesn't make any sense.
I cut it.
Why?
Reasons. Nice to meet you.
He's just embarrassed.
Alright.
He doesn't have a full head of hair like mine.
And I'm assuming the rest of these hooligans are also with you?
Yes, if you remember my previous crew, this is a new
I
one.
don't.
Oh, wait. I don't think you ever
Agreed.
met the other crew.
Nope, I didn't.
I disagree to being called a hooligan, but
Well,
Rikus
a
is
scholar.
correct.
Hooligan is the exact word that I would use to describe
Yeah,
it.
you're just the hoity-toityest of the hooligans. That's the only difference.
I feel like the terms hoity-toity and hooligan are innately opposed, but
Like, Rikus leans, kind of squats down and leans into his ear and says, "This guy has a lot of money."
Ah. Well,
Either way,
hooligan, hoity-toity, don't matter to me. Gold's gold. What can I do for you? What you looking for?
well, they seem to really want holy water. I know I picked some up last night, but
How much?
they
how
want...
much do you have?
Exactly.
By the vial or by the gallon?
I think you can assume that one, Barry.
As much as I would
Definitely
love
by the gallon.
by the gallon, vials are much easier to use in quick scenarios.
True.
You can't
You have
exactly
some
dump it.
vials. And
Well, I
gallon.
You
could,
can't exactly
I
in
could
the
give
vial.
you vial.
vampire in a gallon.
Linen, open your
Yes?
bag.
Opens bag. Pulls out blood barrel.
No, you didn't.
No, I have that, don't
What?
I?
Oh, you do.
No,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
you do.
It's in your bag.
Yeah, no, I left
It's-
it in the
it's-
apartment thing.
It's
Oh,
in the
shit.
apartment.
Oh shit! Sorry, we left the barrel in the apartment. Sorry. We should go get that, right?
I look at the bag and go, we'll just throw some gallons in there and give
Wait,
us
why
a
my
bunch
bag?
Because you're the only one with a bag of
Your
holding.
brother
I
bought
have a
one.
bag of
Your
holding.
brother bought one. Leopold has one.
I'll hold up my discount bag of holding.
You're the only one I've seen use the bag of holding. Either
Yes.
way.
And as the good detective you are, you only believe what you see.
Absolutely. So how many gallons?
Let's start.
What's the?
Do you have
price?
10?
I have. I can barely carry him. Give me a second. He goes out, and you guys hear the squeakiest wheel that you've ever heard, as around the corner of just like a pile of like wood and metal trusses and supports, he pulls around a cart that has probably a 55-gallon drum with a tap close to its bottom. And he wheels it out and pulls a couple 1-gallon vials and says, I don't know how much is in here. I brewed it up a couple months ago, but not many people have bought. So how much do you want?
For some reason, Sakir is a little bit. He's gonna take a few seconds to answer. He's a little bit drooling right now.
Linen is doing math in his head. It's like, how much? He said he doesn't know. I bet I can figure it out.
I
What's the
think.
radius of
That
Let's see.
entire
We'll
thing seemed
go ahead and
excessive.
throw in 5 gallons and maybe like 10 more empty vials.
All
So we can
right.
Fill them up.
Well, it's 30 per gallon, 2 per vial. So if you wanted 5 gallons, that's 150 gold, plus 10 gold for each of the vials. And if you wanted 10 extra vials, that's another 20 gold. So 170 gold pieces for 5
Okay,
gallons plus 10 extra 1-gallon vials.
Sounds good. Either way,
Are you buying that for yourself or for the whole team? Talking to Rikus.
He's not
Rikus
buying it. You're
puts
buying
up his
it.
hand. He's like,
I thought it was Rikus who said the gallons. Did I misremember?
yes. I told him. To
I don't
throw
care
it
who
down.
buys it. I mean, your gold's probably cleaner. He points to you, Leopold.
Rikus looks at Leopold. Is like, all of you were asking for holy water.
Oh, I didn't know
On
if
each?
you were buying personally for yourself.
I already bought holy water last night.
Yeah, he bought a
Well,
couple
I
vials
didn't
last
know
night.
I thought all we needed for vampires was a sharp stick.
Either way,
It's
Steaks
a common
are quite
misconception.
useful, and I have
Steaks are useful. Holy water dipped in the steak, even better. If you can get holy water on that person, it can actually remove the immunities or resistances that they have for a short period of time. Depends on how much water you get on them. Especially if you're able to get it in a running stream while it's on them, it can also make them pretty angry or mad.
Rikus is just nodding, and then he looks at the group and says, "I told you this guy's good."
I will say, however, garlic
That is very
does nothing with vampires. So if you have garlic and you're
That's
hunting
fair.
vampires, do not, and I will say this again, do not rub garlic over your whole body except for your ball sack. It does not work.
Wait,
He's
so does
tried.
I don't want to
No.
know why you know that, but
does
You
that
see-
mean we should? Does that mean we should buy
You're
a whole
muted,
large-
Nate.
I was gonna say,
I know you were saying something funny, but I couldn't hear it.
you will see Leo reach into his bag of holding and just start like pulling out several cloves of garlic, and
Oh
by
my
the time he's
lord.
got a handful, he's done.
Jesus, you actually believed that wives' tale.
I'll take it.
I can use them.
We will hand them to Secure. Leo will say,
I'll give a few too.
"There's no
Go ahead.
end I will not take."
Hey, if there's another one about vampires, the idea that they have to ask to enter a place is not technically true, but it can be true. But only if you are the owner of the establishment. If the owner's not present, they can just walk in. Or if it's a public establishment, they can just walk in.
Wait, what if we just buy the whole large barrel and then dunk a vampire into it?
I feel like you're overestimating our ability to dunk a vampire into that, considering
Yeah.
the aforementioned abilities of mistransmutation and flight.
I believe in Secure.
Why him?
You see-
He's bald.
He seemed to do pretty
Yes,
well against the nest.
and that is where people get their strength.
I'm wondering if
Everyone knows if you have more hair, you're stronger.
I'm wondering if we could
Doesn't that sound
maybe
difficult?
have some way of shooting the vampire with the holy water. I'll have to research it.
Like a
Perhaps it's been done before.
There's always those kiddie squirt guns, but they only go like 5 feet. And they're not very accurate. And they don't shoot very much. It's like as if you were trying to piss holy water onto a vampire. It's probably just gonna make him mad.
What if someone drank it and then they peed on the guy? That would work great.
Well, I am a holy man.
Not you.
Facing
You'd
justice is not the same.
He
Wayne.
looks up and down towards Wayne and says, "Holy?
Yep.
I think you're the kind of guy who uses a lot of holes, not is a holy man."
Why not both?
Well, I mean, the average person has in between 6 to 8 holes, depending on the person. So I guess you're not wrong.
I could always.
Yeah,
I can. Sorry, repeat that, Wayne. I didn't want to
And
interrupt
if
you.
you know how to use a knife.
Why are they leans over it? Why are they talking about holes? He hasn't been stabbed.
I can always make someone holy, and I flash my gun. Anyways,
Regardless, so, holy water, is there anything else you're looking for?
I believe one of them asked for poisons. What do you got in stock, Barry? What types of poisons you got?
Poisons?
Poisons, acids.
How effective of a poison or acid are we talking about here?
I think we mentioned an Alaskan bullworm.
An Alaskan bullworm? Never heard of that thing. Where's Alaska?
Wait,
I
an
don't know.
African or Alaskan bullworm?
What's African?
I believe rumors are saying.
Does it have something to do with skin?
I believe rumors have it in somewhere in the astral plane, but
Well,
some sort of land.
Oh,
tell ya-
Africa. Okay, I got you.
I've got some standard poisons, if that's what you're looking for. I think the most potent stuff I've got on hand would be wyvern wormling poison. It's not as effective as full wyvern poison, but it can still hit harder than your standard snake venom or anything like that.
Well, there
Yes.
you go.
I know. Zach, I want to tell you right now. For my feature of gaining new skills every time I take a long rest, I right now have the poisoner's skill. Would that give me information on different types of poisons and what I would be looking for as far as, I don't know, common like thieves' poisons, like assassins' poisons? I mean, like if you're wanting to spike someone's drink, what would you get?
Well, a wormling wyvern's poison. If that's the most powerful stuff he has, that's something that's gonna put someone out for a while. If they're, say a commoner, it's gonna put them on death's door, maybe even coma,
Doesn't it have paralyzing effects too?
and has a chance to paralyze. Hence why the coma. But for most situations, it's just gonna be a little bit of extra. Like if you tried to hit Rikus with it, the chance of actually really hurting him. So mechanically, at least for me, it's a 4d6. I believe adult wyvern poison is 7d6, so wormling is 4d6. So semi-effective with a probably DC 12-13 paralysis effect.
Would I have had more luck up at the tower in the potions lab?
Maybe, but something that powerful, considering it would be through agency or organization, would be a requisition thing. So you probably wouldn't be able to take it today.
Okay.
On Linen's side, all he wanted was like snake venom and stuff for like medicinal purposes. People to, some
Okay.
indigestion or.
You could get, let's just say you could get a full gallon worth of pretty much whatever standardized, like minor, really, really low potency venoms or poisons for 20 gold.
Sick. That's a buy from Linen.
Also, I should remember this. It was 175 for the holy water, correct?
170, not 75.
70. Okay.
Yeah, for the 5
I'll
gallons.
go ahead.
For 5 gallons of
and,
holy water plus 10 extra empty gallon jugs.
Well then, you know what? Here's what I do. what is the highest potency poison you have, and the antidote for it, and I'll buy both of those.
I don't do antidotes.
Oh,
Yeah. And I've gone ahead and removed 170 gold from my sheet.
Okay. So as that happens, he kind of unscrews the tap and just begins filling the 5 things of holy water. It says, "Sorry, bud. This is a place for adventurers to come if they want to end things, not if they want to save them. Unless you're super creative."
makes sense. Well then, how's this? Do you make any weapons here?
Make? That's a big question mark. Buy? Yeah. So I have some on hand. Just depends on what you're looking for.
Do you have iron shavings lying around?
Iron shavings? I got iron chafings, my guy. I can get you anything you want.
Sorry, what'd you say, Zach?
He's got
Iron what?
iron chafings. He can get you whatever.
That's not what I want. Thank you.
If you want an iron shavings or little bits of iron, yeah, I could get you something like that.
How much?
How much are you wanting? It all depends on how much
Pound.
material you're taking. A pound? Gold per pound.
Sounds great.
And as he fills up the last of them, he he pushes the little cart over and says, "I don't know. I'm assuming you store them in bags of holding or something, but there's your jugs and all that fun stuff."
I'll go ahead and take one of the gallons.
I will also take one.
You add it to your character sheet, I'll let you guys know that a gallon is about 8.3 pounds, and that is how things work on D&D Beyond, is in pounds, so.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Who has bags of holding here? I know you 3 do, but Rikus and Wayne do not. Are you guys wanting to have someone else carry those gallons of holy water? Okay, who's willing to carry the other 2?
I'll take an additional one.
I guess I'll take one.
Okay, so that's all 5 jugs, and
Let
then
me add another weapon.
all of the empty vials can just go anywhere. It doesn't really matter. So as the poison is given, as all of the holy water is given, the few metal shavings. Is there anything else I can do for y'all?
Any syringes?
Any what?
Syringes?
No, we aren't druggies here.
Oh.
I used to be, not anymore.
Medical.
Medical
You can use those for medical?
Apparently.
Yes, that's what they were originally designed for.
I guess I was on the wrong
Apparently.
side of the city for a long time. No,
So
I don't have any syringes.
none?
Anything else?
Salt. What the heck? You have everything.
I have a lot of salt. How much salt do you want?
2 pounds.
Are we talking like seasoning, or are we talking like burn the skin off their bones salt? I have both.
Get on the, I don't know, sea salt?
Just standard old
Rocks?
salt, rock salt. Huh, all
Yeah,
right. How much?
2 pounds.
2 pounds. Alright, we'll go a gold for the 2 pounds. Not that much. He goes back behind it, and you guys hear just this thud. And then walking out, you see a bag that probably has twice as much weight as he weighs in it, and he just kind of sets it down and takes a little cup and measures out a little bit and puts it into another little bag and zip ties it and hands it over to you.
Dude, this is the most productive and least costly run I've been on as far as, like, buying things.
Well, you guys aren't buying anything magical.
I know, it's great.
I mean,
Yet.
Do you have any plutonium back there?
Plutonium?
Only uranium.
Nah, I got some uranium.
what about thorium?
Actually, I have a whole bunch of raw potassium.
Oh, that's good. How much is it?
It's about 10 gold for the block that I've got.
I'll take it.
All right.
Okay.
He hands you, and it's. You look at it and you're like, that could be potassium. It's in this like little casing, and there's probably some kind of coloring set on it. Either that, or someone just thought potassium's in bananas, right? And then just made the block yellow. Not entirely certain what, but it's a block of some raw something.
I can use it.
We're on the case of holy items. Do you have blessed weapons?
No.
Do you have any blessed items in general
I'm
besides the
bits
holy
and
weapon?
bobs, not magical items.
Yeah, like a little cross, a pendant.
Accessories with defensive effects.
1 second. You hear some tinking and wood slam, and he comes back out with a little handmade cross and says, I got this!
You just made that.
I think I should have
No, I
plenty
didn't.
of that in my souls.
How much was the potassium?
I already have that covered.
DM.
10 gold.
Thank you.
Is it a blessed cross, or did you just make that?
It's very well made. If you did.
And he just continues to hold it out towards you.
What's his name?
Barry.
It's either berries, bits, or Bob.
Less than Barry's name.
Blessed in Barry's name.
Thank you for humoring me.
He kind of
I'm not
takes
lying.
it and he dumps it into the holy water and says, how about now?
I can do that with a stick if I so choose. Thank you, though.
He kind of flips it back over and then puts it in his pocket. Well, if there's nothing else in particular you guys are looking for, you should probably get back out on the road.
Probably.
Free up this space for all my other customers.
Are there
we'll
any other customers?
Run home and grab a few things.
So you guys are about to take off?
Yeah, before we do, hey, is your brother Mal still up in Suno?
I don't remember telling you about him.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, he runs the Mal's Magic Marbles. Up in Suno.
That's not my brother. That's like cousin twice removed. He's not even a gnome. See, if we get into it, my aunt's sister, that's also just another aunt, she, gnome, got with an elf, alright? And then their kid, who was almost dwarf-looking thing, but was elf and gnome, got with a human, who got with a dwarf, who got with another elf, full elf. It's a pretty big family tree. I've got like about 48 cousins, I think.
Are you following yourself? Because
Yeah,
I'm not.
I know.
Isn't your aunt's sister your mom?
Potentially.
Yes,
but he
that's
clarified
how
it
it
was
works,
a-
right?
yeah.
Another aunt.
That's how that works. Regardless, Mal isn't. Well, he's probably actually back here now, but he's probably way down southwest at this point because he was out in Dan, I thought.
Oh, you went to Darren? Okay.
I believe so.
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
Wouldn't he be back or dead by now, though?
Yeah, that's like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he made it back. He was in Donturum for a little bit, I'm pretty sure, and then he came back and I think he's in the refugee camp still.
Oh, I ought to pay him a visit then. At some point.
I don't care. I don't see him anymore. He wasn't at the last family reunion.
I should visit my family.
Just
What was
living
your
over
brother's
here.
name again?
My
Mal.
brother?
No, Mal's his many removed cousin.
Mal's my many removed cousin.
Right.
Oh, that's Bartholomew.
Right. And where Where's he running his shop?
He's running his shop out in Zadash. The other side of the
Got it.
Coluspine from here. The other end of the
Got it.
Coluspine.
It seems I had my notes a little mixed up.
And that's Bots, Bits, and Bobs.
I get it.
Wait, but who's Bits and who's Bobs?
Oh, he's got a kid named Bob, and his uncle's Bits were a bit of a thing in the family for a little bit.
So your entire family just names your stores after yourselves and then those two?
No, I am Bobs and Bits because, like, you know, Bobs and Bits, Bits and Bobs, like little things that you find. He actually has a meaning for his name. Why are you all still talking to me? I've got other customers to deal with. Get out of here! And he goes over and he opens
Looks
the
at
door.
the store. The store is still completely empty.
Actually, well, you guys filled up most of the store. As he opens the door, there are actually people outside, seemingly waiting for you guys to leave.
In that
Sounds good.
case-
We'll get out of your hair.
Ciao.
And
Oh,
funnily
shit.
enough, there
I
seems
thought I
to
was
be
your only customer.
like a super, like, hoity-toity, pristine-looking, like, elven woman sitting outside, very proper, with, like, 2 guards at her side. And she kind of gives you guys a side-eye as you exit.
I am going to, before we leave, I'm going to go to go over to Barry and say, I want you to start considering who's the better brother. I'm gonna give him 5 more gold just cause.
Well, y'all came at day, so you're already making a better impression than he did. And he's gonna take the gold and thank you for your patronage. And he's gonna throw it off in a little bag on the side.
After we exit, I'll be like, to be honest, I didn't know if he was open during the day.
When else would stores be open, though?
I don't know.
So, as you guys make your way out and about, Rikus, you and Lennon at least know of the stables that were previously spoken about. That would probably be your next stop of getting horses and getting things ready for your trip. As you guys get to the stables and step in, the boat actually returned early, and Baby is already back at the stables. With
yeah.
his little cart trailer that he pulls behind, if you wish to make the attachment, along with all of the bags and stuff that are all set around his little room. There's a couple stable hands that kind of point out all of the other horse options for you guys. As they're kind of being pointed out, you guys are each kind of picking horses. One of the stable hands kind of points over towards Leopold and says, "Which one you want?"
I have one at home. In fact, I was initially going to say that I probably would have split off to go home to grab my horse.
Okay. Yeah, if you wanted
And
to, you
also
could...
a few other things.
You easily could have split off, got your horses, and possibly even beat them there, since you were on horseback at that point. Because your horse is pretty... Your house is pretty much on the way from where you guys were.
Yeah. Let's say, I don't think anybody else but Rikus would know anything significant about my horse just by looking at it, correct, DM?
I doubt they would. I mean, Rikus maybe a little bit, but nobody else knows that much about horses.
We'll just go ahead and say for simplicity that Leo arrives after you guys. He, to each of you, will give you all just a little treat, just for security's sake, which appears to be a pack with a bunch of like vampire hunting material. There's a stake, a vial of holy water, and a holy symbol for the Church of Lewin. But that is the only things that would probably be actually relevantly helpful, as everything else in there appears to be just a complete random grab bag of like old wives' tales, quack stories. There's like one tale in which this might have done something against a vampire, and so Leo bought it. And yeah, he gives you each a pack of that. So yeah.
Wait, say what? A pack of what again?
So there's a stake, a vial of holy water, a holy symbol for the Church of Lewin, and a bunch of like quack vampire fighting things, old wives' tales stuff.
There's garlic. There's some guano.
Well, he would have removed the garlic, knowing that it doesn't work now.
So I'll
Okay.
put vamp pack in my backpack.
Yeah, you can put a vampire pack in your backpack.
Vamp starter pack.
You want to just type that and send it into the chat?
I will go ahead and put it in
Probably
the
not a
actual
bad idea.
channels.
All right. So as you guys are all preparing your stuff, also Aiden, as you meet them at the stables, would you like to describe your steed?
Sorry, I'm typing this up in chat real quick.
Vamp Begone starter kit.
Vamp Begone starter kit.
Yes.
Just wait till I get to level 5, man. Just wait till I get to level 5 starting kit.
Sakir, should one of us go back and get that barrel?
Oh yeah, right.
Should I? Do you want to? Should I?
Yes, but I'll let you finish the conversation, then I'll describe my horse.
Yeah. I'll go get it. I'll go get it. It's fine.
Okay.
But to describe the horse that Leo rides in on, it's a breed of horse known as a Destrider, which is one of the best breeds of horses there are. Tall, strong. You can tell he's got like a real like fine sheen on his coat. Runner's build. Probably like 17, 18 hands tall. Of course, the saddle is also very fine with some nice saddlebags, but yeah, that is Destrider.
As
Also the name of the breed of horse.
Yeah, I'm a Destrier.
Destrier.
But as the Destrier enters the stable, it is by far and away the most expensive horse in this stable. Probably times 3 or 4. Even in a stable such as this, which does have some pretty nice horses that you guys are able to saddle up and take. Is there anything in particular you guys would be looking for? And what would you want the names of your horses to be? This being Linen, Sakir, and Wayne.
I think I already left. That'll give me a chance to have to be on Rikus's horse, if we so choose for that to have to happen.
You get to sit in the wagon.
I don't even think Linen knows how to ride a horse. I'll be quite honest.
You can always try.
He can always try.
I think Linen would know how to ride a horse. You guys do have the option of picking up a carriage. There is a carriage there as well for people to ride in, if that's what you guys would prefer. And just have 1 or 2 people actually on horses.
I don't know. Linen seems like the type of monk to just like walk everywhere. But
You would not be able to stay up with 4 legs.
Yeah. Here's the real question. Would Wayne rather ride a horse on its back or in a carriage?
He'd rather ride a bugbear.
In a carriage. He would rather ride a bugbear, obviously. So,
Sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that you guys hook up a carriage with a couple horses. And there's enough room for 4 people to travel inside the carriage with some pretty big leg room. And then 1 person can be riding up front, actually leading the cart. And or, you could have people riding beside it, as I'm assuming at least 1 person will. Whether that be Leopold with his Destrier or Baby on the side.
I'm fine riding on side of the carriage.
Alright. Well, as you guys all begin packing your bags and putting everything together, is there any last ticket items you guys would like to do in terms of putting things together before you make your way to the northern gate?
Anyone out of character? Anyone thinking about defensive armor or weapons?
I mean, I think I should be fine.
I'm trying to think because I've been looking at these missions and it's like, like Kingswood Fort. Ah, jeez. Well, I'm trying to think about supplies. Oh, DM, could I get? Could I retroactively buy like throwing knives or
Some stars or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You could
Dart.
you could probably get a pack of like 10 darts.
Yeah.
I'd say a gold apiece.
Cool. Thank you.
Bucket, berries,
Uh,
bits and bobs.
I'm going to assume if we need to camp out in the forest, we have supplies for such, and we don't need to worry about buying them.
Yeah, in the carriage, you guys would have some tents, some fire starter, effectively everything you could need for camping out. Now, it wouldn't be like extreme weather camp out. Like,
Yeah.
if it's pouring rain, you probably won't be able to do much. But
Rikus's wagon has an arsenal of supplies.
I would
Has it
assume
all?
he's got some pretty good supplies. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say
Oh.
we're moving out
I'm
of
trying
this.
to remember. There was something I was wanting to look into, but I can't remember the name of it.
All right. Well, we can retroactively step backwards, go back in time if you find something here in the near future. But let's continue on. That way, we can at least have left the city before the end of this session.
Yep.
So as you guys have made your way to the northern gate, Ernest Valkenton is there, seemingly waiting for you guys. As you guys drive up in the cart, he kind of steps up to the cart and says, I'm assuming you are all prepped and ready to head to Suno, correct?
Yes.
Alright, I just wanted, before you left, to get in touch with you guys and let you know, as small of a chance it is, if you do end up meeting the Caladrian King, or any of his envoy or family, be on your absolute best behavior. Preferably minimal over-the-top jokes, as I know most of you are prone to. This mission to the Kingswood could be what is necessary to bring my father around into full support of the Inexorables.
Sounds good. I will not talk.
Yes, but if you're not talking, who is? And that's the question, the dangerous one.
Yes, none of us will talk at all. We will smile and wave and go our merry way.
I would be perfectly willing to speak.
That would be best, since
He is most apt.
Leopold is most apt when it comes to royalty. You will likely at least meet an envoy of His Majesty. Again, as I've said, be very calm, cool, collected, and if at all possible, do the mission, accept any reward that is given while you're there, and move along swiftly. If you're able to not even stay a night in Suno, that would be best. Gives you less time to embarrass yourselves and us in front of anyone important.
Wait, are we embarrassing?
Not in a direct way, Linen.
I don't think it's you, Linen.
I think it's...
Only you, Linen.
I think it could be as a conglomerate. You certainly could do something that would be seen as untoward. And since Leopold and Rikus are the only of you that I know who have actually interacted with the upper class in any form of successful manner, and Rikus is questionable when calling it successful, it would be
All I'll
best
say-
if it is minimalized.
All I'll say is that if his half-wit military general brother or nephew or whatever it is there, that might be a problem.
All right.
He and I
well,
butted heads.
all of you know
few years
how
back.
to courtesy, correct?
You mean curtsy?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
that
to
is.
courtesy.
Yeah, I believe it's like specifically for like women.
It's a bow. To courtesy is not just for women, it is to bow. Like how you do that before royals.
I think Leopold would know that if that's true, but I was about to make a joke. That was the exact same thing. But I
Read about
think
it.
that's X, right? So now.
You're welcome to
but
Google
that-
it. I don't care if it's just for women. I don't.
Okay, but if it is, like, I think that Leopold should have known that. And I'll take the brunt for saying something like that.
I am posting link in chat.
Yeah, I misspelled that.
So,
Wikipedia pages.
Regardless, let's just continue.
Okay, if you spell courtesy wrong, it is also a tenure by which a husband, after his wife's death, will held certain kinds of property that she had inherited.
So a courtesy is
Not a courtesy.
not gender specific. It refers to a polite or respectful act, generally of greeting, regardless of gender. Generally, most are connotations towards courtesy with chivalry towards women.
how are you spelling that?
Court. C-O-U-R-T.
ESY. Why are we... Okay. Regardless. Leopold, if you would oh so please, while you guys are camping for an evening, teach these flaxen fools perhaps how to interact with a royal, as while they may not care, and honestly I don't either, especially a few of the sons and daughters of the king do, which I believe you're more likely to meet them than the Khal himself.
Of course.
Alright. I do not wish to keep you anymore. If there is anything else we here in Revedan can do for you, do not be afraid to send a message to Lycus, and we will attempt to get something heading your way. I wish you safe travels. And he kind of steps away from the carriage as you guys...
As he steps away from the carriage, I'm just going to stand up in the carriage and do a very, very elaborate mock curtsy. Be like this? See?
As you stand
I
up...
know how to be a royal.
Ernest.
As you stand up and do that, Ernest kind of looks at you with just the nastiest look.
I will ensure he does not do that in front of the king or representative thereof.
If he does, let them chop his head off. And he begins walking back into the city.
As he's walking off, Linen will stick his head outside the carriage, wave. Bye, Ernest. We'll try our best.
Goodbye, Linen. Hopefully next time you're back in town, my younger brother will be able to see you again.
Yes, please do. Also, tell him to keep up with his study. As he's like slowly going away. Tell him to keep up with his study.
Alright, so as you guys begin making your way out into the central countryside, you guys are going to be heading due north and passing through or around the city of Hafton on your way to Suno. Suno is about a day and a half, maybe a little bit more journey, depending on whether and how well you guys travel. If I could get a volunteer to roll me a d10.
Dibs.
Nate's got
Thank
it.
you.
You said a D10?
Yep.
Should we not let Mr. in?
Womp womp.
Okay. So
No,
with
low
the-
numbers are usually better.
with the 2, the clouds are a little gray, and it does seem to be a little dreary out, but there is no rain. In fact, the temperature is very cool. You guys are kind of, if memory serves, kind of in springtime right now. So you're kind of getting out of the cold months and into a warmer period of the year. And, it's mid-60s, or low to mid-60s, nice little breeze. Horses are moving great, and there's not been a rain in a little while, so you're not having any troubles with the carriage wheels. You guys are able to pass by Hafton, and you are more than halfway from Hafton to Suno. You guys will be arriving inside the city of Suno probably around 10 a.m. the next morning if you wake up at dawn. So as you guys get up and or settle down for the evening, is there anything in particular you guys would like to do before we continue the travel?
The only thing I can think of would be setting a watch schedule.
Is there
I thought we were
anyone?
traveling.
What'd you
said we're
say?
traveling.
You
said we're traveling.
guys are traveling. Yes, but there is one night's rest in between here and Suno.
Yeah, and we're not resting at Hafton, correct?
You guys could rest at Hafton, but it would put your time coming into Suno much, much, much later in the day.
So that's no.
If you're trying to go there as fast as possible, then yeah.
Because if we're camping, we should. At least it's good practice to have watch. When going solo, I normally set up strings and bells, but this would be much more reliable.
Do I have any troubles with my new medicine, Zach? I'm using blood from the tank at this point, so...
Go ahead and roll me a luck check.
We never checked if there's actually anything in that.
Oh, my luck's bad.
You die.
We've never actually. Now that I think
You
about
get
it,
AIDS.
we never actually checked if there's anything in that barrel aside from blood.
Oh, do we not have luck on the character sheet?
If you do not have luck in the character sheet, most of you guys should. I
Looking
thought we
very carefully.
did that very early on.
Alright, I don't have it on my Foundry one, but I think I do have it on my D&D one, so I'll just check my modifier.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys have them on D&D Beyond.
Alright, -3 modifier.
-3 is crazy.
I dumped it.
That's right, you did dump it.
Why would you dump stat? Luck.
That's like the second worst thing.
That
to dump that
explains
right after.
all his rolls up to this point. Let's be honest.
Oh.
Let's go.
Okay, so with a 2
3.
on luck,
Or 2.
you probably cooked something up while you were back in Revedan, and have begun drinking it while you're on the road. You don't know if it was part of a little bit of new mixtures or seasoning, or if it's just a different race, or maybe multiple races worth of species worth of blood in the same thing that's going wrong. But you get a little bit of food poisoning.
Oh.
Oof.
And by a little bit, it's actually pretty severe.
But not a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Linen.
It is pretty severe, and as you guys are taking the night's watch, who's got first watch? There's 2 watches.
Linen again. Linen. Reminder that Linen is the only person that isn't an elf.
Everyone
Right,
else
I
only
think
takes
that
4
maybe
hours.
should be the only person never watching. So I'll go ahead and take one of those watches.
So
With your food poisoning?
Rikus will take the other one.
okay,
Do you tell Linen that you are food poisoned?
Yeah, when do I know?
He's vomiting.
Sakir begins to vomit during first watch, when everyone is asleep. And you go from smoldering fires just sitting watching around to immediately like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel very good. Oh no.
My tummy hurts.
My
Probably put out the fire with it.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope
And-
not that dumb.
It is the rankest vomit that you have ever smelled.
Ugh. Does Lennon need any check to wake up?
Does Sakir wake him up?
No, he's fine for now. He'll wake up eventually. We'll fix it in the morning.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Sakir, go ahead and roll me another luck check real quick.
I hate you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My other character would be thanking you a lot.
Your other character would
Actually-
love me.
Actually, out of game, the actual reason that I took luck so low was because I actually made it my whole other character's thing to have super high luck. He has like a plus 14 or something crazy. So
He has
I thought I'd just not worry about it.
He has expertise in luck.
And roll.
In luck.
I mean,
That's
we all know
Logan.
luck is a skill.
I got better. That was a better roll.
So, Sakir, you are unable to get a good night's rest, and you have a level of exhaustion coming into the morning.
Thank you.
You're
Very
welcome. Rikus is woken up by Sakir, and Rikus takes second watch as Sakir just kind of tosses and turns for the night. As you all...
when I wake up, do I see Sakir's condition?
Only if he lets it be seen, honestly. Like, it's bad, but he can hide it for 30 seconds as he wakes you up.
Does the smell linger?
Yeah.
As you get out, there is absolutely a smell, but Sakir has already crawled into his tent. And you're... Oh,
Makes
that's...
sense.
You guys do have tents. That's real nasty. You do end up finding, like, a red puddle. A couple red puddles.
Should really see about that.
Anyways, I go to a high point and bunker in with my binoculars, kind of survey. And then
Never
I
got
read a book.
poisoned from that guy, did I?
You never got poison. No, you didn't.
Could have knocked myself out.
Could have knocked yourself out. Yep. Alright, so as you guys all wake in the morning, Sakir looks terrible. Sakir, you're starting to feel a little bit better because you got a lot of it out of your system, but you still do not feel great.
I'm gonna have to make a new batch.
Yeah, you will.
Sakir, are you okay?
Yeah, must have messed something up on the medicine. Do I still have stuff on my face?
Medicine?
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah. Yeah, not feeling. I didn't sleep well. I'm not feeling very great. I don't know. Do you have something for nausea?
Yes. You really should have told me. Yeah, you really should have woken me up yesterday. You were having
No.
problems as he starts rummaging through his bag. Let me,
You have to sleep more than any one of us.
I mean, Sakir, I'm a student and a meister of medicine. My entire... If you've ever been to school, sleep isn't an option if you want to pass certain classes, to say the least.
Right, but we can't afford your brain to be tired during this time. Wow.
That's
in an
my
academy.
That's my
Can't afford it.
That's my secret, Sakir. I'm always tired.
Bruh.
As he'll pull out the gallon of poison he bought just the other day. So you're gonna need to ingest some of this. Maybe he'll throw in some like ginseng and God, what was that called? I had a whole list prepared and I don't. Where is it? Damn it! I lost the wiki.
No.
I go over to my wagon that's hooked up to baby, and then grab a bucket, and then just toss it to Sakir.
As you look inside the bucket, Sakir, it seems to have been used for probably a similar occasion, not too incredibly long ago, and was very poorly cleaned out in between now and then. So you kind of take a whiff, and
This is gonna make me puke.
Yeah, Linen is going
I'm feeling
to.
fine. Thank you.
Lynn is going to like pull out an orange, stuff it with some like ginseng, and like drench it in minor poisons, and it's like, eat this.
Trusting you.
It'll make you vomit. A lot.
I don't trust you as much now.
It's safe-ish.
No, why do I need to vomit? I already have all night.
Just to get the remnants out of your system. If it's okay. Given your
I go over to Rikens, I take the bucket back.
given your symptoms, it is food poison, and what's the best way to beat poison with more poison? It's been proven for centuries.
This is going to be hilarious.
The
Anyway.
citrus and the orange will help you throw up, and the ginseng is just for a numbing effect.
Bon appetit. I'm gonna go into the back of the wagon and start I devour the entire thing and then just sit there in the back looking into the barrel. Looking into the bucket.
as you guys finish packing things up and getting all things settled, you guys hear another cart on the road kind of wheel up and stop by as a dwarven man, probably middle-aged, full beard,
I thought it was the king.
kind of
That would've
gray
been
hair, kind of peeks out and looks into it. Can barely see into the carriage with you just sitting there with a bucket. Y'all all right down there?
My brother's just an
I'm
idiot.
Why does he have a bucket? Is he sick? I got something that could help.
Not yet. Oh, really? Oh, that's great timing.
How
He
convenient.
gave me something that'll help. It'll help me by making me more sick.
Well,
That's
if it's
logic.
gonna clear out your system, it's probably for the best. You gotta get the rest of it out before you can put anything
Right.
new in there.
Yeah, 1 second. You're gonna... No more from Sakir.
He goes back into his pile and says, give me a second. And he holds this little bag out and he kind of pulls. He's just got 2 horses pulling a little cart, and he pulls out and pours a little bit of this, almost looks like a seasoning, out into his hand, and kind of steps over and says, hope y'all don't mind. And he says, if you want to give this a whiff. As you immediately begin to projectile vomit into the bucket. In the next minute, you evacuate everything left in your stomach. And he kind of pulls his hand back and says, yeah, nasty work. Food poisoning. Huh? Is
Thank
that
you, Contra.
blood?
Like I said, my brother's an idiot.
Well, I apologize for his idiocy. I am Veritsum. He kind of holds his hand out to you, Rikus.
I would like
There-
to make an insight check on Verisum. Is that what you just said?
Veritsum.
I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Why does his name have Varys in it? Why does his name literally have the name Varys?
Veritsim. It is a completely different name.
Verit? And
It
then
is a
after the T there's an
completely
S.
different name.
So rearrange it.
It is a completely different name, okay? Calm
Hear me
down.
out.
You have
Hear
to
me
admit that you slurred.
Just the
It's where
red
it sounded
lines
insane.
moving around. Hear me out.
He's everywhere.
Okay, he's just gonna pull out this really fancy dagger. He just
Does he
picks
have,
up something.
DM, does he have a fancy dagger?
He's got bright blue eyes and they flash red. He actually has more hazel eyes. He says, was it something y'all ate? Is it anything else? Do you need more of the powder?
Just him.
Just him.
16 insight.
16? Seems pretty genuine. He says,
He only seems genuine. Stab him.
well, you can't guarantee it with an insight check. You can just be fairly certain.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
Oh, what did you give him? I should buy more when we're in town.
I can give you a small pouch of it. It's just a mixture, effectively, that's so pungent and repugnant to one's nostrils that it immediately makes them want to vomit. And if you're already in a situation where you're probably vomiting, it'll just kickstart the process real quick. And
We want a lot of that.
It's like pepper then. Okay.
yeah, it's these new smelling salts or something. They're from the Clovis Concord. They're not crazy expensive. They're able to produce them in pretty large quantities. Here, and he kind of pours out another little bag and says, "That's probably 5 doses worth," and kind of hands it out to you.
Lynn will take it, open it, sniff.
Yeah, as he kind of looks at you and looks at the chain around your neck, he says, "I'm assuming you're a studied man in this art."
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time studying. Books weren't for me.
No, that's bad. The practical side of things is much more fun.
Yeah, same. They don't like it when you're actually looking at dying people, though. Regardless, I'll be on my way. If you ever need anything, I have a little shop in Halfton. It's not very hard to find. Y'all have a good one. I'll be on my way. And he climbs back into his cart and sets out.
All right, Dwarven Savior.
Quite convenient.
You do
What
feel
you
a
know
lot
to say
better.
about gift horses?
You do feel a lot better. You did not lose your level of exhaustion, but you do feel a lot better.
Sweet. Well,
In-
I'm gonna curl up in the back and go to sleep while we travel.
In fact, you could probably get a long rest in between here and Suno, because it is about a 4-hour trek.
That's the plan.
So, curling up as best you can.
Yay, being elves.
Trying to get a night's rest.
Absolutely.
So, would anybody else like to roll a d10 for me?
I'll
How
do it.
about we don't have the guy with the worst luck in the party do it?
I have the best
fun
luck,
D10.
excuse you.
He wasn't talking about you.
Oh, I for some reason I thought it was Akira who rolled that right last time. That's my mistake.
Let's go.
Another 2. Same weather. Dreary, no rain, cool, calm, peaceful. As you guys get closer into Suno, sorry, you guys pass through the eastern gate, which is also the gate where is closest to the river, so there's a lot of other traffic coming in and out of it. And you guys enter into the city and begin making your way to its northwestern quadrant where the Hunters Guild is. It's a very populated city. It's not physically much bigger than Revedan, but in terms of total scale, it's scaled upwards a lot more. There's a lot more buildings with multiple levels, 4, 5, 6 stories. Suno, as the sister city of Revedan and the capital of the Calabrian Empire, probably has 2, if not more, times as many people as Revedan has living inside its walls. So as you guys make your way through the bustling streets of Suno and pull up before the Hunters Guild, we are going to go ahead and end the session there, as it is almost 10, and we will begin our next session with the gathering of information from Kelk Stonehand, the dwarven hunter of the Hunters Guild, who spotted these creatures seemingly, and will likely be leading us out into the Kingswood at the beginning of our next session.
I can't wait to get into the Great
Oh, yeah.
Get into the what?
to the Great Emu War.
The
of
Great
Kingswood.
Emu War. It'll be something special. Acid spitting emu.
I believe it.
Kind of cool. Australia
So-
would lose a war against them for sure.
We'll lose too. just like in real life.
Yep. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, it was a little bit another little bit more of a laid back session before we get into some pretty wild stuff. A lot of RP, a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, some new NPCs.
Yep.
Got the red thread going across because you met a random dwarf with smelling salts.
Yeah, no, that wasn't random, Zach. We all know it. That was definitely that was an agent in disguise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a demon agent.
Totally. Veritsim, Varus, for sure, same dude.
Maybe not one and the same, but he definitely works for him. You know, in some way. The T has to be significant. Why would he break the name with a T? You know.
It's a hint.
Yeah. Plus means we're going the right direction. So as soon as we know someone who's Ver-is, then we know we're going in the negative, wrong direction.
Damn it, we should have gone to the Zemnian coast then. We definitely would have met Varus there.
What a name, Ver-is.
Ver-is. Alrighty, well, I hope to see you all again next week.